core. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, all right. So yeah, so tell me like a little bit about what you want to do as far as like body wise, what you want to accomplish.
Okay, well, most of all, like my abs, my stomach area here, I got a lot of handles, love handles. I don't know who loves them. I don't, but that area, that right there is a negative. I'd like to somehow slim that down because put dresses on or the bra sometimes the fat hangs over. So basically, that's my number one priority.
Okay.
The would be my thighs, but I've lived with those all my life per se. I've had that full thighs, but I never, years ago didn't have this midriff thing. But
Mhm.
as we get older and maybe our eating habits go from bad to worse. But basically the abs are what I'm concerned of because even when I tried to do some of the exercises when we were down on the floor and I try to pull up, I just don't have that core strength to pull up. Uh, some days it seems a little easier, but I got to really work to. I mean, some of the women just are able to pop up. Well,
Right.
and that doesn't happen in my lifestyle. So that's I guess it's the core and the abs. If they're one and the same, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you say, being able to sit up, like get up off the ground, that's
Mhm.
more of like the strength of your core.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
And then also you feel that you carry a lot of your weight in that area too.
yeah,
Belly, love handles,
yes,
and like here. So like bra, back fat, like that.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely.
So
So
you carry most of your weight in your midsection.
yes,
Okay.
uh,
Okay. And so your thighs, you said you've had thicker thighs for like the majority of your life.
right. Like in your pants, when you wear jeans, it's from the waist, it's okay, and my waist is workable. But then going down, love handles, maybe they call it.
Mhm.
Um, they've got names for everything. So that area, I've always been fuller in the thighs right there.
Yeah.
But mostly the abs and the core and they're those exercises are hard for me to do because I don't have that strength. I haven't built it up.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, so like with the strength in your core, that will continue to come as you continue to, do the things like we do in class, because a lot of
Mhm.
it does involve your core.
Yes.
Um, but also carrying extra weight in your midsection and like covering your core, it's harder to move with that area because it's
Yeah.
heavier.
Right. Right. To come up and rock, just like pull myself up. It's difficult because I always say I got a lot on the bottom.
Mhm.
Uh, but I just don't have the strength to do it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like with carrying weight in your midsection, I mean, that's all nutrition,
Hmm.
right? I'm
Okay.
sure you've heard people say abs are made in the kitchen.
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like a lot of it could be because I was in the gym world, right? Gym
Yeah.
owners, that's what they would,
Yeah.
well, abs are made in the kitchen. Like you can come in here and work out every day until you're blue in the face. But
Yeah.
if you're not eating right, you're never going to have that nice, flat, tight belly,
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay.
all your food for most people will accumulate there. That's where a lot of people store body fat and then, kind of goes to other areas, your love handles, your back, just depends on, what body type you do have.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So with that, so love handles, belly, and thighs. So if you think about it in the way of like a tangible result, so like something that we can measure,
Mm-hmm.
if you wanted to lose a certain amount of weight or a certain amount of pounds, or let's say like even be a specific size,
Mm-hmm.
what is that like for you?
I that doesn't I'm not worried about a size or the weight. I my weight is 140, 145 at the most around there. It fluctuates sometimes on if I'm fasting from sweets or something, it might go to 138, but I've never like 130, but I don't go with the numbers. That doesn't bother me. At what I see, I don't per se see numbers, but I see the abs, I see the flab and the fat. So that's what concerns me.
Right, right. So when you were when you fasted from sweets, right, and you were down to like 138, did you notice a change in the way that your body felt, the way that it looked, how your
Well,
clothes?
I, it was a fast from church. So
Okay.
I did that for 20 days. It was a 20-day fast. And I really didn't. I mean, I really, I felt good. I was happy about that I could do it and not eat the sweets, and because I do like sweets, but I've come a long way with being able to avoid them. But
Mhm.
when I do eat them, it's there. So but I didn't really see, I guess 20 days wasn't really long enough to notice a difference in in the clothing, that my clothing would felt looser, like, oh, this is falling off me. No, that didn't
Right,
happen.
right.
Nothing nothing fell.
Not the bell. And so too, what happens, oh, I just changed the view on this. Let me go back there. Okay, there we go. So what happens with that, like when people do a fast or they just eliminate a certain thing from their
Yeah.
diet, so
Hmm.
candy or sweets, those are carbohydrates. And
Hmm.
typically we store carbohydrates in our muscles. It's converted to glycogen, which is stored here, and then it's used for energy in our workouts or through daily things. So many people, like when they go on diets and they cut carbs, right? So
Hmm.
cutting sweets is cutting carbs. They feel better, but they don't notice a difference in their body. And that's
Hmm.
basically just because they're not eating enough of the other things, protein, fat, or different carbohydrates, right? Like
Hmm.
complex carbohydrates, which are natural, if that makes sense. So that's why you didn't see or
Hmm.
like a visible change in your body.
Right.
Yeah. So with your wanting to get to, where you want to go with your body, what do you feel is your biggest challenge in getting there? Like, why aren't you there, you feel?
Well, it's I would say, one, I don't do enough exercise. I mean, I try to go every 5 days a week, but that's 1 hour. 1 hour is really, I mean, I feel it, but I should come home and do more. That I don't think 1 hour is really going to make you Miss America. And I'm not trying to be her, but I mean, I'm not going to see a difference with just 1 hour. That's good health wise, for my age, to like get my heart going and move body parts that wouldn't normally move, but it's not going to, make a drastic change. So I think I should exercise more. I have a mat on in my bedroom, but how often do I get on it? Not often enough. Um, and of course, the diet. It could, uh, meats, like our fast was no meats, no sweets, no treats.
Mhm.
So for those 20 days, I didn't have meat. Not that I'm a big meat eater. We don't eat steaks or pork chops. I'm Italian. I like meatballs and I like sausage, and ribs. So those three are I don't eat bacon or, that stuff, but those are my downfalls with meat: meatballs, sausage, and ribs.
Okay.
And I mean, I eat them in moderation, I think, but still, uh, so that's what I didn't have during the fast.
Mhm.
So that's where I did lose a few pounds from that.
Okay. And so sweets and treats. Are you a
Yeah.
sweets girl?
Well, I like to bake, but I do give it away half the time. But I do,
I'll take some.
no problem. I do, uh, I mean, I don't, I like sweets, but I don't overdo it. I don't sit down and have a big piece of chocolate cake or
Mhm.
lemon pie, nothing like that. Cookies. I might have cookies, but I don't sit there and eat a dozen. But
Right.
you know, really like just one or two every day, if I have them. But I'm moderate with it, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and which is fine. You should enjoy
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. And
Absolutely.
but a lot of vegetables. I cook a lot of vegetables, fresh vegetables, and that. Um, so our diet that way is good with the vegetables and fish, salmon.
Good.
Um, so um, so the diet's not horrible, but it's not minimizing my parts. That's why I think I need more exercise.
Mhm. So you're doing more than enough exercise.
Really, 1 hour. That's a hard hour, I'll say that. I feel it, which is good. I want to feel it, but
Yeah. So so 5 days a week, an hour each day is like the max that I recommend.
really,
Mhm.
huh, that's
So like
interesting.
I have girls that work out twice a week or no
Uh-huh.
times a week and
Uh,
still have results because it's 80% nutrition.
mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And that's a common, right, misunderstanding that most of us have because that's just what we see, right? Work
Mm-hmm.
out more, work out harder, do
Mm-hmm.
twice a day, right? No, you
Mm-hmm.
work out more than I probably do.
Hard to believe, but okay.
Like
The nutrition-
some of my days are like my workout today was like 25 minutes, I think.
Mhm, mhm,
Right. But so it all comes down to the food, right? And so you can eat meat. You can eat
mhm,
meat, you can eat sweets, you can eat treats, you can have sausage, you can have meatballs,
mhm,
you can have all of those things. It's a matter of the macronutrients that you're eating,
mhm,
right? So for example, let's say 15 pounds is what
mhm,
we're going to set your goal at, right? 15 pounds
mhm,
you would melt the love handles away, your stomach would be flatter, your thighs, same thing, would be smaller. You would see a significant change in your body, right? With
mhm,
15 pounds. So the 15-pound less grace
mhm,
needs to eat a specific amount of protein, a specific amount of carbs, and a specific amount of fat each day in order for your body to receive the message like, oh, okay, she's finally giving me the correct
mhm,
nutrients that I need to perform all of the actions that she's asking of me, the processes, right? Basically to function properly and not hold on to body fat,
mhm,
right? So when we're not eating enough, our bodies can hold on to whatever we're eating, no matter how good it is, because it basically goes into like a survival mode, right? Like,
mhm,
okay, Grace, like we're working out an hour each day, but you're not feeding me enough of the right foods. I don't know when you're going to do that. And we keep moving. So I'm going to hold on to this food and store it just in case the next time we work out, I don't have enough fuel. I'm going to use that.
mhm.
Right? So having that proper, like consistent flow of that nutrient, your body's like, oh, okay, I can start to let go of this now.
Mhm, mhm.
Right? You start to let go.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's magical.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you magic, okay.
And within that too, so, protein, I don't know how, are you familiar with like proteins, like what carbs are and what fats are? Like food.
Not real, I mean, basically, no, I mean, I'm not really that well educated about it. You
Okay.
know, th- I get confused with, what all are carbs other than the sweets, sugar, um, nuts or protein. Like I eat a lot of nuts, unsalted roasted nuts. That's
Mhm.
part of our diet.
Mhm.
So, but I don't know if I balance it.
Right. Right. And so like that's another misunderstanding that most women have too is that nuts are protein, which nuts
Hmm.
are actually a fat source.
Hmm.
There's some protein in them, but they're majority fat,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So eating a lot of nuts, right? We could be eating too much fat and then that in turn actually throws off our hormones because your hormones or the fat intake basically will balance your hormones.
Hmm.
Right? It affects your skin, it affects your moods, it affects your metabolism. Like it basically affects everything. Your fat's too high, you're
Hmm.
more than likely going to store fat. Right? Your fat's too low, you're going to have all kinds of like wow, wanky things happen. Right? For women that have their cycle, like their cycle's crazy. It's either really heavy, they're super crampy. Like it affects the body like hardcore.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, But yeah, so like protein is basically like anything that was living, right? Would be a protein source. Carbs, you have fruits and vegetables are carbs, right? And then a lot of man-made things in a box are carbs, right? And there's ways to eat both of those, right? So most women's treats or sweets are carbs.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's, again, ways to incorporate those to encourage your body to burn fat and build muscle. And then there's ways to eat the other forms of carbs to give your body the nutrients that it needs from those vegetables, from those fruits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fat basically balances your hormones. So they all work together, right? When you're eating the proper blend of all of them. And it's like, think about your body being like this hot rod car, like whatever favorite hot car.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been trying to drive this car and you're putting like the worst fuel in it. And it's just not doing it. It's like backfiring, it stinks, right? Doesn't look good. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, it's the wrong fuel. And you start putting the right fuel in it. And now it's running, it's purring, it's fast, it's beautiful. That's basically what this does for your body. Right.
I see.
So yeah, so your challenges, right? Your workouts, not a challenge because you're doing more than enough. Absolutely. So it seems like the food, right? Just not knowing, you feel like you don't know what the things are for you to eat to get the results that you want.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. And that's common. We weren't ever taught any of this stuff in school.
No,
Right?
right. We're getting smarter every
We went.
day. Getting smarter every day.
I know. We learned most of the stuff that we need to know out of school.
Trial and error, but we hopefully learn it.
Right. Yeah. And so like with this, so just kind of like a background how I got into this when I lived in New Jersey and I owned my gym. So I was basically in the boat of like I couldn't get the physical results that I wanted either, right? I always wanted to see my abs, I wanted to see muscle definition. And so I tried all of these different diets and I would see results short term, but then when I went back to eating the food that I liked, right? The results leave. So it's like they left faster than I got them. I probably did like every single diet known to man like 2 or 3 times. So once I found this and once I kind of like figured out how to do this and fine-tuned it, so many members of my gym, same thing, they would come in and they would work out, and CrossFit's hard, right? It's high intensity, it's tough. So they would come in and they would bust their ass, but their body would never change because of the food, right? So once I started doing this, I'm like, okay, guys, I figured it out. Here we go. Let's do this. And so the ones that jumped on board with me, their bodies like total transformation,
Wow.
right? I was like, okay, so yeah, like it's true. Nutrition is 80% of it. Right. And like the whole dieting thing, like, no, it doesn't work because you're depriving yourself of foods. Right. So yeah, you're going to see results. But then once you start eating those foods, then the results are going to go.
Right. I understand that 100%.
Yeah.
You go back to the old ways and everything you did is wasted.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. And then, so like after I sold my gym, I went and I coached at Orange Theory. Right. So Orange Theory, another super intense workout. And all the members, same thing. They're like, I've been coming here for 2 years and my body hasn't changed at all. I'm a little bit faster and I'm a little bit stronger, but I look the same.
Same. Yes.
Like, okay, well, here, let's do this. So all of my clients from Orange Theory, like transformation, and the other clients are like, what are you doing? Right. So again, the workouts, they don't matter in that sense, right? It's more when your nutrition is on point, then the workouts that you do become basically an accessory to shape your body the way that you want.
Okay.
right? So with what I do, no matter what it is, whether it's like in the sense of like a meal plan or
Mhm.
like the courses that I have, it's not it's not dieting, right? So you're not depriving yourself of anything. You're still eating the foods that you love. So, you know, if you're having meatballs for dinner, that's totally fine. If you baked a cake, right, and you're gonna have a slice of cake, again,
Mhm.
totally fine. So it's not depriving, it's not dieting. You're able to eat out, you're able to travel. So
Mhm.
it's really a lifestyle.
Right, that's
Right?
cool.
Yeah. So think like any type of diet that you've done in the past, whatever it was that knocked you off,
Mhm.
right? Eating out, traveling,
Mhm.
sweets, treats, meats, all the things like we eliminate all of that so that you continue to have results for life.
Right. You
Right?
change your whole, you have to change your lifestyle completely. I mean, for the betterment of it, and be aware that it's what's going to help you.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. So so there's two different ways that we can go, and really like it's up to you how much learning you want to do, right? So I have one that is so it's a course. It's basically, think of it like you're going to school. You're going
Okay.
to school and you are learning how to eat in this way, in the way of so you're going to have your custom numbers, right? Your protein, your carbs, and your fat. So how much of these three things do you need to eat on a daily basis to lose, let's just use the 15 pounds, for example, right? So how to do that, how to hit those numbers daily. So how to track them, right? You're going to learn what they are, what are protein, what are carbs, what are fat,
Hmm.
how to track them. So we use an app on the phone, right? And basically what you do is you're going to be entering what you're eating throughout the day to hit those numbers, right? So I show you how to do that, and I show you how to do that consistently, because with the consistency, that's when your results happen,
Hmm.
right? So think of like what we said before, like sending that signal to your body. It's like after some girls, it's like a week, some girls, it's 2 weeks, but the body is like, okay, I'm getting it now. Let's start dropping fat, right? You start seeing those results of consistency. Um, you learn how to eat out. You
Hmm.
learn how to travel. So all of the things without gaining weight, right? Because
Hmm.
typically you go out while you're doing a program or a diet and it's like, oh my God, I went out to eat and I gained like 3 pounds.
Hmm.
Right? No. So all of the things, right? How to have drinks. I don't know if you drink or not.
Not
Okay.
really. Yeah.
Okay. And that, I mean, that's a big thing for some girls, right? Like, oh, I have a glass of wine every night. Okay, well, you can still have your glass of wine.
Mhm. Sure, sure.
Um, yeah. So other things that we do, like how to set goals in a way that it's going to bring you to your ultimate success, like
Mhm.
how to break down those goals, and how to eat the best foods for your body, right?
Mhm.
So certain foods will work better with your body and certain foods will work better with my body, right? So you'd be learning you specifically. Um, what else? This is a good one too. So how to eat the foods.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So like it comes down to like there's a lot of I do a lot of like mindset stuff with my
Mhm.
girls, right? So
Mhm.
like who you're being when you're eating and how you're eating. So like that even comes down to like changing what you're doing while you're eating gives you
Mhm.
faster results.
Mhm. Hmm. How to say that again? How to
So
uh
your actions
what
around eating.
oh, your actions around reading. How to
Yes.
eat.
Mhm.
Uh,
How to eat, your actions around eating that will increase your results.
okay.
How to use supplemental nutrition to create optimum performance for your body. So like
Mhm.
when you're working out or when you're going to work out, what to do around your workouts, what to eat before, what to eat after. So you
Mhm.
have more energy during your workout. You're going to burn fat. You're going to build muscle, right? So the foods to do that. Um, recipes, recipes
Mhm.
definitely. Um, there's a lot in there. Again, like I said, the mental part, like the mental transformation, because if we don't have this transformation, right,
Mhm.
the physical transformation doesn't last.
Okay.
So it's changing your mindset with you, right? And a big part of it also is starting to love your body now instead of waiting until, well, I'm gonna wait until my love handles are on and my belly is flat, right? Because most of us do that, right?
Mhm.
We're like, no, I'm gonna wait. But our bodies need that emotion. They run on emotion, and that also increases your results, right? Results faster. Um, so basically, like with this, you'll be free of dieting forever. You never have to look for anything again. Um, and then so like after all right, well, I'll just put it this way. Just like I said in class, my goal for any of my clients, no matter what it is, workouts, nutrition, I want to give you the tools, teach you the tools so that
Mhm.
you have them,
Mhm.
so that you can have progress, you can have results for life. Right. So I don't want you to need me. Right. I love
Mhm.
you. I want to work with you. I'd love to work with you forever. And at the same time, it shouldn't be a relationship of, oh my God, Danielle's gone and now I'm gaining all this weight back.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Need. Mhm. Have to
Yeah,
do it yourself. Realize.
exactly. Yeah.
Sorry.
So like
My.
you'll learn how to like manipulate your numbers. So let's say we work together for 3 months. You do like a 3-month program. And in 6 months, you're like, oh, well, I think maybe I want to lose a couple more pounds, or maybe I want to put on some muscle. You'll know exactly what to do in order to achieve that goal.
Mhm.
Right. It's not, oh, where's Danielle? I need Danielle. Right. You
Mhm.
have that knowledge now. So again, like,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah. Yeah. It's learning. Okay.
Yeah,
Learn the
exactly.
life.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So with that, so that program is called Dream Body Freedom.
Dream body freedom.
Dream Body Freedom. Yep. You have freedom from all of the things and you have your dream body. Um, so with that program, so those are all the things that you learn in the program, and there's more. But those are like the nuggets, right? The golden
Mhm. Mhm.
nuggets. And then also with that, so you have weekly check-ins with me,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
To make sure that you're on track. I go through your food diary, give you any feedback, any changes, any manipulations that should happen, right? Goals for that week. And then we also have weekly calls. So we
Mhm.
have group calls, and those are anything from, there's always Q&A at the end, but that's a
Mhm.
lot of like this stuff, right? The
Mhm.
mental transformation. um, and then so I just inputted like a whole bunch of new recipes too. So you'll have those also.
Mhm.
And if you want, I've been giving this as a bonus with that my workout program, the weight
Mhm.
training program. So if that's something that I know you work out 5 days a week, an hour a day, so I don't want you doing more. But let's say you're like, okay, well, let's do Danielle's class the 2 times a week, and then maybe I'll take a day from another class and I'll incorporate some type of weight training on the floor. Right.
Mhm.
So with that, that program, it's basically the full workouts, the movement, the reps, the sets, the rest time, like it's everything to a T. And then
Mhm.
once you see the movement, you click on the movement and it shows you a video, like a demo video of me doing the movement and then your points of performance, right? So like if it's squat, weight on heels, butt back, break parallel, drive up through the heels, stand up straight, like that, right? So you know you're doing it right.
Okay. So that's weight training.
Mhm. Yeah, so it's, go ahead.
What does really the weight training, what does it really to break down to mean? Training your body, uh, 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 being more aware of your weight, or is that the lifting weights?
Yeah,
When
so lifting
or
weights.
the weights? Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like that's what we do in my class. We're always
Mhm.
doing some type of like weight training. So if you're
Right.
using weights,
And
yeah.
that's to build muscles? Is that, yeah,
Yep.
uh,
So to build muscle, burn fat. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest. Right? So
mhm,
like you just sitting there, if you
mhm,
had say more muscle, you're burning more calories because it's expensive for your body to maintain muscle mass.
mm,
Yeah. And you burn
okay.
more calories doing weight training and then recovering weight training. So all in all, the weight training, it's just overall more calories burned during, after, and then once the muscle's built, that increases your daily calorie burn.
Mhm,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Do you have any questions about any of that so far?
Yeah, so that's good. I mean, because just the weight training did confuse me, so it's more when we do the lifting and, uh, you know, bigger weights, smaller weights and all that. So making our muscles work and burning fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. You got it.
All right, moving
Good.
along.
Okay. And then, so the next program, that one's more of like so it's a meal plan, but it's
Okay.
a customizable meal plan.
Okay.
And so think of it in this way, right? We talked about your body needs X amount of protein, carbs, and fat every day,
Hmm.
right? So this breaks it down in the way of, okay, Grace, this is what we're going to need for you. So it breaks it down into meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So breakfast, you're eating this much protein, this much carbs, this much fat, right? And
Hmm.
it's listed out for each meal, the amount of each that you need. And then you get to choose from a list. So it's kind of like matching. Like, okay,
Okay.
I need 3 ounces of protein. So let's see, for breakfast, the protein, I'm going to have 2 eggs.
Hmm.
Right? For carbs, let's see. So carbs, okay. So there's potatoes. I'm gonna have some potatoes,
Hmm.
right? Fat. I'm gonna have avocado. So it's basically like you get to build your
Hmm.
meals, and it
Hmm.
gives you the guidelines of how much,
Right. You should have.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not as much learning, right?
Hmm.
Whereas the other one is a course,
Hmm.
like a school course. This one is more of like a plan, like a
Hmm.
customizable plan,
Hmm.
right? Which also, so you have
Hmm.
your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner, and then you learn also, or you get to have your treats. So like
Hmm.
whatever your thing is for the day,
Hmm.
right? It has you put that in there because again,
Hmm.
it's not a diet, but it is more of a structured, like, okay, this is what
Right.
you're.
Right. It reminds me of Weight Watchers.
Mm.
They tell you how much you can have, and you record it. And I had joined Weight Watchers one time because my friend was, it's great, you lose weight, da da da. But I'm not consistent. That's my problem. I'm not. The consistency is where I fall off the wagon there. So that's been my problem, consistency.
Yeah.
Not that I binge, but I just follow the plan.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
but I'm not a binger. I'm not a binger. I have to clear myself there. But
Okay.
um,
Yeah, and so like if there's women that are watching the recording too, like, and you do binge or you emotionally eat in the Dream Body Freedom, like you'll learn also how to turn off those programs,
mhm, mhm.
right? Even with the meal plan. So like with the meal plan, you're gonna also have the weekly support calls.
Right, right.
So like you saying, like you kind of fall off, you're not consistent. Do you feel like having that additional accountability
Mhm.
would help
I,
you?
I didn't opt for that with Weight Watchers. I didn't. I guess I was doing it myself and with my friend, and I didn't go to the meetings. I didn't participate in that end, and I didn't. The meetings are where you could, uh, encourage each other, and I didn't. I didn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guilty. So,
Yeah, and I think that's a really big part of it too, right? So like I mean, really with any of my programs, I like to have all of my girls together.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that there's this sense of, it's like working out in the class versus going to the
yeah,
gym by
yeah,
yourself or working out at
mhm,
home. The
yeah,
chance of you doing
exactly.
it
Yeah,
solo or less.
yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think it's good, but for some reason it just didn't, I mean, because that's why I keep coming to the gym because, it's a comfortable group of women that, not, no one's pretentious and you just work at your own speed. And, it's just nice to see them and, not building any friendships outside of the gym. I mean, our circle is all, I'm sure we all have our circles that are
Yeah.
enough, at this point enough. And so, just, making casual friends at the gym. And that, again, that encourages me to go, okay, yeah, let's go. It's close by. I go for convenience. It's close by. Silver sneakers, so it's reasonable and it's the right time. So
Mhm.
those are my pluses that keep me coming to the gym. And I mean, and other than that, the programs are good and they're interesting, and we change and do different things, and I feel they're helping me to coordinate my body because I even had problems with going up the steps, always holding on to the railing and all that. Now I'm much more comfortable, so I've built more confidence that I can do these things. So that part is great.
Good. Good. That's awesome. Yeah. And I mean, as you lose weight too, like everything is just moving is just gonna be easier,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Because you're moving less. And with
Yes.
proper
Yes.
nutrients, right? It's like that affects your body. Like as we get older, we kind of have we get like stickiness in our
Oh
body,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like you'll notice that starts to change too.
Right, right. And feeling confident that you can do it and not, I like that part. I like that a lot,
Yeah.
building the confidence in yourself
Yeah.
uh, to do things that are going to help your body.
Mhm.
So,
Yes. Yes. So with those two, which one do you feel is more appealing to you? Like the lots of learning or the more simple?
well, with learning, I mean, I find I don't retain things as much, like I don't know if you see me where we're doing this up and then down and then that. I got to think about it, and it's, so I don't read, I wish I did, like uh, let's just an example. I went to Bible study for 9 years and I liked it. It was a lot of fun, but for me to give you a Bible quote or to pull something out of my head, like it's not there. So I don't know, we can make all kind of excuses as we get older. I mean, this was 9 years ago. I was younger then, and I don't really let age block me from anything. It doesn't bother me with age. I'm
Yeah.
going to be 77. It's no problem.
Wait,
I'm
you're gonna be
never
how old?
77.
You are? Oh my God, Grace. Wow. I would
Well,
never think that. Okay, go ahead, continue.
just so again, I don't use that as a crutch because it doesn't bother me. I could say my age, and I don't, like some women say, don't ask me. I'm not. You know, I say that doesn't bother me. I feel confident with that. But so I wish I could remember things better,
Mhm.
uh, and I don't. The meal planning, the dream team body thing. Uh, Learning at the course would be good if I could retain it. But just I take notes. If I'm talking to somebody on the phone, like they tell me, oh, something's wrong and all that medical things, I got to write it down. And even then, get details and all that. So I'm not good at remembering. My brother has early onset dementia. I'm not going there. My husband goes, don't go there. You're okay. And, thankfully I go to a good husband and we help each other. He's just the same age. He's 6 months younger than me, but, we help each other. We're a team. So that part is good. He's not like a bump on the log. He's very,
Right.
and he's concerned about nutrition all the time. And so that being said, there's the course where you would learn. I mean, I do need details, but uh, um, the weight training, um, I'm not interested in like really building muscles. I want to get rid of flab and wings and things like that. But as far as building muscle,
Yeah, that's
that's
not a
my
priority for you.
primary goal. The
Yeah.
primary, I imagine, is learning the balance of the food, eating enough of each portion of each category, the fats, yeah. So because I do believe that